Let's look at how we can write a fraction as a decimal or a decimal as a fraction. Now at 5th grade level so far, all we're looking at are fractions where the denominator is a power of 10, like 10, 100,000. So we're looking at place value. Okay, let's start with this one here, 23 over 100. Well, the 100 tells me that I have 2 decimal places. So I can put a decimal and I can write 2 lines, and then I'm going to look at my number. It's 23. This number needs to finish in my last decimal place. So I've got the 3 and the 2. So this is all I have is 0.23. That's my 23 100ths. All right, what about 14 1,000s? Well, 1,000s, I've got 3 zeros here. That tells me I'm going to have 3 decimal places. So I can do this. And then I know the 14 has to finish in the last place. So I can write my number backwards here like this. What do I do in this gap where there's no number? Well, I fill it in with a 0. And that's 14 1,000ths. How about if we have a mixed decimal, like 9 and 2/10? Well, I'm going to go ahead and write my whole number 9, and is my decimal. Now I have 2/10, and I'm going to treat this 2/10 just like I did these fractions up here. Okay, 10 tells me I have 1 decimal place. There's 1 0, so I'm going to write a dash. And then, or an underline, sorry. And my number 2 has to finish. Well, there's only one number and one line, so it's just going to be 9.2. 3 and 24,000, so I'm going to go ahead and write my whole number 3, my dot for and then 24 1,000ths. 3 zeros tells me 1, 2, 3, and the 24 has to finish in the last place. So 4, 2, and when I have a gap, I'm going to go ahead and put a 0. So 3.024 is my decimal equivalent. Let's go to these ones where we start with a decimal place and then we finish with a fraction. Okay, 0.5. So I have 1 decimal place, so that tells me the denominator of my fraction needs to be 10 because 10 has 1 0. And I'm going to put my number right up here at the top. So 0.5 is 5/10. What about 17? Well, I've got 1, 2 decimal places, so that means my fraction is going to have 1 with 0, 0, 2 zeros, 100, and I'm going to put my number at the top, 17. 0.294. I've got 3 decimal places, so that means my fraction is going to have 1,000 because it has 3 zeros at the bottom, and I'm going to put my number 294 at the top, so 294 thousandths. 0.006. How many decimal places? 1, 2, 3. So I know my fraction is going to be over 1,000 again. And my 6, or my 006, that's going to go at the top. But I don't need to put those leading zeros, right? Because 006 is the same as 6. 032, again, I've got 3 decimal places here. So I'm going to have 1,000 because there's 3 zeros in that number. And then I'm going to put 32 at the top. 32 1,000ths. 0.8. 1 decimal place, fraction, just need a 10, 1 0. I'm going to go ahead and put that 8 up at the top, and I have 8/10. What about a mixed decimal? So 5.019. Well, just like over here with these mixed numbers, I'm going to have a 5, and then I need to make a fraction with this decimal. So I can kind of cover that up for a second and treat it just like all these other ones here. There's 1, 2, 3 decimal places. So I'm going to have a fraction with 1, 2, 3 zeros, 1,000, and then put 19 at the top. Last one, 4.206. So 4 is my whole number. I'm going to cover that up, and I have 0.206. Well, 1, 2, 3. So my fraction is going to have like that, and then I need to put 206 at the top. And that's all there is to it.